Someone cooked here.
Hello and welcome back to the Uncharted series. You may notice that I am now using a microphone, so hopefully the sound won't be nearly as loud as it was the last time. Today we're back with the second game of the series, released on October 13th, 2009, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Last time I would discuss a few more facts about the game before getting into it, so I'll discuss those real quick. Uncharted 2 sold 537,000 copies in its first month, which compared to the first game's 1 million is pretty sad, but I mean, I totally get not buying the sequel to Drake's Fortune. However, Uncharted 2 was the best-selling game of October 2009, and apparently sold 47,000 copies on its first day in Japan, which is pretty impressive. Uncharted 2 was also the Game of the Year winner of 2009, beating out games like Demon's Souls, Assassin's Creed 2, Modern Warfare 2, Batman Arkham Asylum, and Borderlands. Among Thieves also has a new version of Nate's theme that's just a bit better than the original, but there are still improvements yet to come, as you'll see in Uncharted 3. Anyway, let's get right into it. The game opens up with another quote, this time from Marco Polo. "I did not tell half of what I saw, for I knew I would not be believed." This quote doesn't have any special meaning I could think of, it's just a random Marco Polo quote that kinda ties into the twist at the end. The game begins as we fade from black into a shot of a flickering and sparking light, when we pan over to our beloved protagonist, Nathan Drake, sitting unconscious in a train. He wakes up confused and finds that he's bleeding. A lot.
That's my blood. That's my blood. It's a lot of my blood.
He looks out the window at the snowy mountain, and suddenly something flies towards him and the chair breaks. Nate tries to grab onto another seat, but that one breaks too, and Nathan falls out of the back of the train and catches himself on the guardrail at the very last second. The train was hanging off of a cliff the whole time. Nate climbs his way up the side of the train and gets back on land right before the train falls off the edge of the cliff, and then immediately Nate passes out in the snow, and the scene fades into a flashback 4 months earlier of Nathan on a beach having a beer. So this opening is just incredible. It's probably one of the best openings in any video game, second only to the first Last of Us in my opinion, which was made by Naughty Dog only 4 years later. The reveal of the train being crashed off the side of the cliff and then having to climb on the inside and outside of the hanging train, crashing through windows and making off just in time, is just one of the great spectacle scenes yet to come in the Uncharted series. We fade from Nate on the ground to a flashback of Nate on a beach. Nate is met by Harry Flynn, one of his old treasure hunting buddies played by Steve Valentine, who has a business proposal for him. So Harry has been hired to steal an oil lamp from Marco Polo inside of a heavily guarded museum. Nate is the only person to break in and out of the museum and come back alive, and the last time he was there, his partner died trying to escape. Nate says that just him and Flynn won't be enough for the job. Harry agrees, so we're introduced to another S-tier Uncharted character, Chloe Fraser, played by the incredible Claudia Black. I just have to say that Claudia as Chloe is just as perfect as Nolan North. Just how nobody can take over as Nathan from Nolan, because he's just that perfect as the character. Tom Holland. Claudia Black is Chloe. Her voice, her reactions, and delivery are all just too perfect to replicate. Next we cut back to the beginning with Nate, and we have a fun little transition joke here.
What the hell? I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
Nate stumbles around until he finds a gun, and we get a little combat tutorial after the train scene was our climbing tutorial. So Nate walks into the train car and gets killed so hard it's crazy. After that, we cut back to Nate, Harry, and Chloe on a boat heading towards the museum. Harry and Nate separate from Chloe and climb into this little courtyard fountain area. They sneak around above the rooftops until they get to the museum case with the oil lamp in it. Nate smashes it on the ground and finds just a blank piece of paper. So Nate looks through the broken pieces of the oil lamp and finds little pieces of resin inside. He uses Flynn's lighter to burn them to reveal a secret map on the paper that leads to Shambhala, also known as Shangri-La. So Nate and Harry have what they need, and then this happens.
What the hell are you doing?
Sorry, mate. This is where we part ways.
Wait, Flynn, we had a plan.
No, you had a plan. Turns out I've got one of my own.
Come on, throw me the rope. Don't be stupid.
Oh, yeah, right. You're the mastermind. Only you overlooked one little detail. Didn't you, partner?
So what are you gonna do, shoot me now?
No, I just need you out of the way for a little while.
Shit.
You think I didn't know about the ships from the beginning? Any schoolboy could have figured that out.
Flynn, listen.
Face it, genius. You've been played. Not yet. I want to give the guards a decent head start. Right, that's my cue. No hard feelings, yeah?
Yep, he betrays Nate and shoots the glass cases, setting off the alarms. Nathan is caught and sent to jail. We flash forward 3 months to Nate chilling in his cell and reenacting what happened between him and Flynn.
You overlooked one little detail, didn't you, partner? What? Face it, genius, you've been played. Oh, really?
Just then, the goat Sully pulls up to bail him out. Chloe's there too, but she wasn't in on Flynn's plan, at least not fully. Chloe's pretending to be on Flynn's side, but really working with Nate. Chloe reveals that Flynn and his client, Zoran Lazarevic, found Marco Polo's ships where the map led in Borneo. So Sully, Nate, and Chloe form a plan to steal the research that Flynn and Lazarevic have done over the 3 months that Nate was in jail.
Well, that's why it has to be an inside job. From someone they know and trust.
Oh. Okay, I see where this is going.
Just need a diversion. You give me 5 minutes in that tent, that's all it'll take.
Really? 5 minutes? Well, that's great. I won't even have to get my top off.
Chloe, I was thinking more like an explosion.
Or that. Can be arranged.
Are you in?
Oh, hell yes. I was in before you were.
The gang arrive in Borneo where Nate pushes a boulder off a ledge with that Chris Redfield's strength from the last game. But more importantly, Lazarevic, played by Graham McTavish, is physically introduced, and immediately makes himself more interesting as the entire 2 main villains of Drake's Fortune combined.
You would betray me for this?
No, Zoran, I can't explain.
No need. I am surrounded by traitors and fools!
Nate looks through the information to find research about the Chintamani Stone, a massive crystal in Shambhala, and the main treasure of the game. Just then, Lazarevic's men show up, and Nate has to fight off a few guys in a pretty fun shootout. See, this is what makes Uncharted 2 immediately better than Drake's Fortune. Even though this could have been a standard shootout, they add more layers than they even needed to. Like, instead of just defeating all the enemies, you have to blow up a watchtower and protect Sully, while this also being the grenade tutorial for the game. After looking over the research having to do with a hurricane, Nate decides that they need to go to higher ground to find the bodies of Marco Polo's men. So they go up the mountain and find this cave. They go inside and find more blue resin like from the inside of Marco Polo's oil lamp along with the bodies of his men. They find a trail of blood leading to a dagger thing called a purba, which is actually more like a key than a dagger or a knife. And the purba is wrapped in a map leading to Nepal. As Sully and Nate leave the cave, Flynn finds them and Chloe betrays them, but not actually. She's just building trust with Flynn, and she'll do it a lot more in the rest of the game. So Chloe searches Nate and Sully for Flynn and gives the map to him, knowing that Nate will have already memorized the location, but she does not give Flynn the purba, as to not completely blow Nate's lead. And here we get some great dialogue with Nate and Sully making fun of Flynn.
Found the ships though, didn't I?
You couldn't find your own ass with both hands.
And a map.
Between India and Tibet, one temple will reveal a
Pathway to Shambhala. Jesus, Flynn, while we're young.
All this dialogue in the Borneo section for me is probably the section that cemented Sully as a fan favorite. While he was good in the original, he wasn't really Sully as we know and love him. He had the base characteristics of himself, but he gets fully fleshed out as a character in this section of the game. As Flynn goes to investigate the cave, Chloe helps Nate and Sully escape, but just as Flynn's men are chasing them, they hop off a cliff into a ravine to escape them.
This way. Damn. Now what do we do?
We jump.
Oh, hold on there, Sundance. You gotta be out of your mind. We'll break our goddamn necks.
If we get caught, Lazarevic will break them for us.
I'm getting too old for this bullshit.
Oh, come on, now don't you start this again.
Listen, I don't have your luck. Guys like me gotta know when to walk away from the table.
Sully, we're gonna get out of this, okay? We always do.
Yeah. You go meet your girl in Nepal. I'm going somewhere warm.
Come on.
Hey, you can tell me all about it when you get back.
There they are!
Oh, shit.
Well, shall we?
After you, Butch.
See you in hell, kid!
Next, Chloe and Nate go to Nepal, and this whole section of the game is great. The fights have a ton of enemy variety, and the addition of armored trucks and sentry guns And something about the colors, architecture, and just overall design of Nepal has always stood out to me about this section. And it immediately starts with Nate being chased by an armored truck and being thrown right into the action. This is also the section where we fight our first helicopter, and Nathan has an awesome shootout in a crumbling building before falling out and fighting the helicopter on a very open and coverless rooftop. All different combat encounters that flow so well and feel so good to play. The simple but smart upgrades from Drake's Fortune make this game so satisfying to play after Uncharted 1. Right after defeating the helicopter, Nate goes down a zip line and it breaks, and he falls and runs into a familiar face.
Whoa, hey, don't shoot.
Hey! Nate? What the hell are you doing here? Jeff, don't!
Wait, you know this guy?
Yeah. This is Drake.
Oh. Sorry.
So, what's your angle on all this misery? You gonna plunder a few temples, loot the museum?
It's nice to see you two. Suppose you're here for some noble crusade, right?
But why out here? Why tear apart the city, you know? It just doesn't make any sense. Oh. What? No. Tell me you don't have anything to do with this.
That's ridiculous.
There you are, Nate. I think I lost them.
Oh, whoa, it's all right, Chloe. They're journalists.
Oh. We need to keep moving if we want to stay one step ahead of Lazarevich, so...
Oh, man, Nate.
Hey, wait. Now, don't jump to conclusions, Elena.
I'm sorry. Am I sensing some history here?
Oh, Elena Fisher. Last year's model.
That's cute.
Oh.
Yeah. No. Glad you find this so funny.
Well, it's just I never figured you for the white bread picket fence type.
Hey, she's a lot tougher than she looks, thank you.
So Chloe, Nate, and Elena, and most importantly, Jeff.
My name, Jeff.
They all decide to go together as a group of enemies attack them, and they all go inside a temple to escape a helicopter. Nate and Chloe go further while Elena and Jeff stay by the entrance. This is where you get a great looking puzzle to solve, the first great puzzle of the series, with this huge statue with all these arms that Nate has to move. Once he moves all the arms in the correct position, the statue opens up to reveal a keyhole that Nate puts the purba into, and the water in the pool in front of the statue drains to reveal a lower underground ruins. Nate and Chloe go through the ruins to find the best looking puzzle of the whole series in my opinion. Not the best puzzle, but definitely the best looking. A giant version of the purba separates into 3 sections that Nate has to aim all these mirrors into the faces around the room to move the sections down into position to stab the chest and open the mouth of this guy on the floor. Nate and Chloe go into the mouth that leads to another underground area that has another keyhole for the purba that then moves these individual rods and a light that shows another location in the mountains of Tibet. Nate assumes that this is the entrance to Shambhala.
So, we did it.
We did it. Yes. We did it.
That kills the mood.
Just then, Lazarevich's men show up, and to make full use of this amazing environment, Nate and Chloe fight off the enemies in both the dagger room and the forearm statue room. Nate and Chloe exit the temple to find Elena and Jeff cornered by even more enemies. They defeat them all, and Jeff reveals that he's been shot. Nate carries a gravely injured Jeff as a ton of enemies and armored trucks attack as the gang evades them. Just as they get to cover, Chloe debates with Nathan and Elena about leaving Jeff behind to ensure their own safety. Just then, Lazarevich and Flynn find them, and Chloe fake betrays Nate once again. Lazarevich enters the room, and this is the first time that he and Nate meet face to face.
Sorry.
Drop the guns. Seriously.
Get her out of here. She's hurt. Take her to the train. Unbelievable. You just can't help yourself, can you?
I guess that makes us even.
Not quite.
So, this little man is Drake. Did you carry him all the way from the temple? Shame. No! Now, tell me what you found in the temple.
The answer that you're looking for. Okay? I know where the stone is, but you're not gonna find it without me. So just let her go, and I will lead you right to it.
My shadow. You are the reporter who has been biting at my heels. You better pray that he is not bluffing.
How can you work for that monster?
Beats working against him, love.
So that's it, huh? Just gonna mow us down in cold blood?
Looks that way, doesn't it? Get up. I said get up! Stop them!
Lazarevich takes Superba, and Nathan and Elena run away from Lazarevich's men and hide in another building. Nate tells Elena that he's going after Chloe, but Elena rejects the idea, thinking that Chloe betrayed them for real. Nate goes to catch the train that Chloe is leaving on, but Elena decides to come with him anyway to help him get on the train, when we get some more great dialogue that really shows the history between Nate and Elena.
Okay. They're about to take this show on the road, so we're gonna have to move fast. Now I'm going down there alone.
Nate.
Wait. Just listen. You never listen. Meanwhile, you're gonna go over there, snag us one of those nice-looking
4x4s.
4x4s. You're gonna be the wheelman. I'll sneak in. I'll grab Chloe. You come in right behind us.
With the getaway car.
With the getaway car.
Yep, got it. Got it?
I got it.
Go.
This is where we get another great, unique combat scenario. Nate is stuck in a tipped-over train car with tons of snipers and grenades and shotguns surrounding him, while he's in a single spot just fighting for his life, waiting for Elena to roll up with the getaway car. Two heavily armored minigun enemies hop out of a truck, and just then Elena shows up with the car. She drives up to Nathan, he hops on, and one of the most iconic sections in the Uncharted franchise begins. In this section, Nate makes his way up to the front of the train while fighting tons of different enemies inside, on top, and hanging off the side of the train while dodging obstacles. Another helicopter shows up. Nate evades it inside of a tunnel, but it reappears on the other side, and Nate uses a sentry gun against it. He goes further up the train and actually has to defeat one of the heavily armored minigun enemies, but you can just shoot the straps off of these logs in Final Destination to him to death. This whole part of the game is so expertly crafted. The loop they use for the outside environment of the train is very impressive. It has to be the perfect length to not repeat almost at all, or at least not noticeably, while also giving the player enough time to get to the right spot of the train before it's time to crash it. And it all comes to an end when Nate catches up with the enemy that has the Perba and gives them a beatdown of a lifetime. Even after that, he gets up again and he's about to choke out Nathan right when Chloe comes to the rescue by shooting him.
Saved my ass again. Are you alright?
Get off the train, Nate.
What are you talking about? You have any idea what I've been through?
I never asked for any of your bloody heroics.
Chloe, come on, we don't have time for this.
You're right. So get off the train while you still can.
And leave you with them.
You made your choice.
What did you expect me to do?
I expected you to have my back.
I had your back!
How could you possibly with the other two on yours?
Good luck with Flynn. We deserve each other. You know, I can't believe...
No.
You just don't know when to quit, do you? What? No witty remark? Nothing clever to say?
I don't. No!
Oh, no, you don't!
Stop. Just let him go.
Put him out of his misery!
Nate shoots some barrels to stop Flynn's men, and the explosion derails the train. The train goes off the edge of a cliff, and now we are back at the opening hook of the game. Now with additional dialogue and partially skipping over parts that we already played in the beginning, until we finally get back to the moment where Nate finds the Perba in the snow, and he has a massive shootout with the surviving enemies from the train searching for him and the Perba. Nate defeats the enemies and begins passing out in the snow. He sees a person in the distance just as he passes out. He wakes up in the person's house with his bullet wound healed and the man trying to tell him something, but he doesn't speak English. He gives Nate a jacket and Nate walks out of the house and follows the man through the village. He kicks the ball with some kids.
Here you go, get it! Kick it back! Come on, kick it back! Kick it! Kick!
The man leads him into another building and finds Elena. She tells him that she followed the train tracks to the wreckage and the man named Tenzin led her to the village. She also says that Nate has only been unconscious for a few days. Then we're introduced to another character named Carl Schaefer, an old explorer who was once on the hunt for the legendary Chintamani stone in the past. He also says that the Perba is the key to Shambhala. Just like in the first game, now at the halfway point, Nathan wants to give up.
I'm through with all this.
So, they have beaten you, huh? Your quest is over?
Yeah, that's right.
What if it's only beginning?
Where did you find this guy?
Trust me, young man, your ego will mend. You're just lucky to be alive.
Yeah, you know, people are always telling me how lucky I am. But the truth is, everything I touch turns to shit.
Nate.
No, Elena, I'm done. Now come on, I'm through playing the hero.
Your adversary will not give up so easily. He will not stop until he possesses the thing he desires.
Oh yeah? Well, more power to him.
Power is precisely the problem. Some of the most fearsome rulers through history have possessed only a fragment of the Chintamani stone. Men like Tamburlaine, Genghis Khan. If a mere sliver could bestow such power, what would a man become if he possessed the stone itself?
So many evil people throughout history have only had pieces of the Chintamani stone, so if Lazarevich has the whole Chintamani stone, he would become insanely powerful. Nate doesn't believe it, which I mean, like, you fought zombies, bro. How's a gem that makes people strong so unbelievable to you? So to show Nate proof of the power that the Chintamani stone possesses, Schaefer sends Nate into a cave near the village with Tenzin as his guide. They arrive, and Tenzin, only using physical expressions, tries to warn Nathan of what's inside the cave.
Yeah, I'm not so good with charades, pal. Wait. Tenzin! Why do you need that?
Nate and Tenzin go through the cave and get attacked by this game's supernatural enemy type, Yetis. A Yeti is about to kill Nate, but at the last second, Tenzin jumps on the Yeti's back and saves him. Nathan and Tenzin go through a really cool traversal section with all these spinning gears and rising platforms that leads them to the bodies of Schaefer's men. All these men were shot to death, and they were also Nazis. Nate finds a book on one of them with an emblem of the Tree of Life on it. Nate concludes that Schaefer killed his own men to stop them from consuming the Chintamani stone and becoming all-powerful. Just then, a huge swarm of Yetis show up, and Nate and Tenzin escape on an old elevator. They run into the village, and Elena tells Nate that Schaefer and Tenzin's daughter were kidnapped by Lazarevich, who has the village under attack. So Nathan and Tenzin fight through the forces of Lazarevich's army. They spot Schaefer and Tenzin's daughter with some binoculars. Just then, this happens.
Oh, crap. Jump! Jump!
Another amazing and iconic combat sequence begins as Nate has to fight off the tank crashing through town chasing him. As he fights his way through the town, Nate finds rocket launchers and slowly but surely takes the tank down in a challenging but ridiculously fun sequence. That's what makes this game so amazing. Not a single fight is the exact same. They all have one or two little or big elements that make them unique from the last, and every now and then you get amazing action sequences like this spread out evenly throughout the entire game. I mean, right after Tenzin reunites with his daughter, we get an on-the-rails sequence. Like I said in the Drake's Fortune review, every Uncharted game has an on-the-rails part, and this one is one of the best. After some more shooting sections, one with some pretty cool verticality elements to it, and one with a sniper, Nate and Elena find Schaefer badly hurt, and he tells them that Lazarevich stole the Purba. He also admits to killing his men to stop them from using the Chintamani stone.
You were right.
About what?
Everything you touch does turn to shit.
All right, come on. We're gonna get you out of here.
No.
What do we do?
Did you find my expedition?
Yes, I found them.
You understand what I had to do?
Yes.
If they had found the stone, it would have changed the course of history.
Okay, easy, easy.
He took the dagger.
I know.
He's gone to the tower. You have to stop him.
Try not to move.
This monastery hides the secret path to Shambhala. You must get the dagger back, find the secret path, and destroy the stone before he gets his hands on it. Drake, you have to believe.
Schaefer.
Oh, Nate. We can't just leave him.
What choice do we have? You heard him.
Do you think all this really could be true?
I don't know. But he believed it. That's enough for me.
Nate and Elena separate, and Nate finds Chloe and takes the Purba from her and solves a pretty cool puzzle that leads Nathan to the secret entrance of Shambhala when Lazarevich finds them.
Are you a student of history, Mr. Drake?
I've read a book or two.
Genghis Khan, Hitler, Stalin, Pol Pot, they were all great men. But do you know why they prevailed?
I'm sure you're gonna tell us.
Because they had the will to do what other men would not. Compassion is the enemy. Mercy defeats us. Now, unless you wish to test me still further, you will drop your weapons! Now, one we will use as a lesson, and the other we will use as incentive to cooperate. You choose.
This is bullshit, Nate.
Yeah, don't play into his game.
You want my help, you let them go.
This is not a negotiation! Who would you sacrifice, and who would you save? What, this one? You want to save this one? Or maybe this one?
You know what, enough of this shit. All right, quit the theatrics. I'll do what you want.
So Nate opens up the passage for Lazarevich. I like how Lazarevich points out how much better Nate is at finding and figuring things out than Flynn, showing that other than them both competing for the treasure of Shambhala, Lazarevich has no real problem or hate towards Nate. To Lazarevich, it's just business. Nate and Flynn go ahead and inspect the path, making fun of each other the entire time.
Statue of your mom. Why you gotta be such a bitch?
They eventually make it to a room with these big cylinders. Nate has to move into the correct position.
Such a little book, such big cylinders.
Don't make jokes! You're bad at it!
Once the cylinders are in the correct position, water flows around the room and makes a clear path ahead for Lazarevich, Elena, and Chloe. Just then, Yetis show up and attack Nate and Flynn. Just as things are looking bad for them, Lazarevich shows up and saves them.
Hold him.
What the hell are those things? What?
Scarecrows. Guardians to frighten trespassers.
Yeah? Well, it's bloody effective. Zarevich, done what you asked. Let them go.
Always bargaining. But you have played your last hand. And lost.
Looks like it's the end of the road, mate.
No, not yet. I want him to see Shambhala. And die, knowing that I have taken it from him.
Yeah, the Yetis are actually guys in costumes meant to scare off people from entering Shambhala, which, I don't know, I'm pretty sure these guys would be scary enough already. Lazarevich opens the gate, and just as he's about to kill Nate, Elena, and Chloe, the Guardians attack them, and they all make a break for it. They slide down a slope into a waterfall. Somehow Nate's clothes have magically changed from the jacket that Tenzin gave him back into the dark green shirt from the rest of the game. Chloe wants to escape Shambhala, but Nate and Elena convince her to help them stop Lazarevich.
You stick your neck out, you are asking to lose your head.
You said yourself you want to take this guy down.
Yes, and I want to see him pay more than you do. But that's not how it will end. This is how it will end.
No. Not this time.
Come on. What do you say?
That you're crazy. But let's go save your bloody world.
Then even more Guardians show up and attack them. They defeat the Guardians and find sap coming from the roots all over the walls that look just like the resin Nate keeps finding. Nate also finds that the sap is flammable, just like the resin. The sap adds yet another fun layer of combat in this final section of the game. And this is when you get the final gauntlet of enemies. Carrying over one of the few good ideas from Drake's Fortune, we fight both normal and supernatural enemies at the same time, with the blue sap spread around to add another new element to combat. Nate, Elena, and Chloe find the Chintamani Stone. They find out that the Chintamani Stone is actually a huge piece of resin in the center of a fake tree of life. The resin this whole time was actually pieces of the Chintamani Stone, and the Chintamani Stone was fossilized resin from the Tree of Life, and to become all-powerful, Lazarevich is going to drink the sap-infused water at the center of the real Tree of Life. As Nate, Chloe, and Elena go to stop him, Harry comes from behind a pillar, badly beaten and shot by Lazarevich, who left him for dead as he no longer needed him.
Harry.
What's the matter, mate? Disappointed Lazara bitch beat you to it? I'm afraid you just missed him. Figured I'd stay behind and wait for you to come join my little party.
What are you talking about?
Maybe that's what old Zoran wanted all along, eh? He's cleverer than he looks.
Well, we can still stop him.
Elena, don't.
Oh, we can help you.
Sorry, love. This isn't a movie. And you're not the plucky girl who reforms the villain and saves the day. It's just not done like that.
In my opinion, Harry Flynn is a way more fun and interesting villain than Lazarevich, but I wouldn't want their roles to switch because as an imposing physical threat, Lazarevich works very well. But I've always preferred Flynn because of his unashamed incompetence, but also his I'm better than everyone kind of attitude. Harry blows himself up as an attempt to screw over Nate one last time, and Elena is badly injured by the explosion. And in a reverse role of when Chloe covered Nathan carrying the gravely injured Jeff, Chloe carries a gravely injured Elena as Nate fights off Lazarevich's men. This section completes Chloe's character arc. Earlier she wanted to leave the injured Jeff to give herself and Nate a better chance of survival. She's now the one carrying an arguably even more injured person to safety through an even more dangerous situation with no thought of herself.
Head for the gate. Go as fast as you can.
What do you mean?
No. No way.
Look, Chloe, I have to end this.
No, you don't. Don't you dare take on this stupid crusade.
Just get her out of here.
Not without you.
Look, if that stuff could really transform Lazarevich and his army.
Please don't do this.
If it could actually make him invincible, and I didn't try to stop it.
But this is suicide. And you know it.
Just go. Get as far away from this place as you can.
And just like that, Nate heads to stop Lazarevich. Nate finds Lazarevich already drinking the sap, and I think it's a really cool way to show the power of the sap by giving Lazarevich all these scars all over his face and arms to show them healing in this cutscene.
Hold your fire! Hold your fire! He's mine.
Sorry, pal. You're not my type.
The final battle begins as a souped-up Lazarevich chases after Nate with a shotgun. Nate runs from Lazarevich, shooting the sap whenever Lazarevich runs past it. The whole time, Lazarevich is getting even more wild and angry. Ending with Lazarevich on his knees defeated, and the only moment that we get acknowledgement of Nathan's countless murders in the whole series.
How many men have you killed? How many just today? That's it, boy. No compassion, no mercy. Huh? Do it! No. You don't have the will.
Maybe not. But they do.
The Guardians beat and tear Lazarevich limb from limb as Nate escapes the collapsing Shambhala on a crumbling bridge, Chloe saving him from falling at the very last moment.
Oh no.
Elena. Oh God, no. Elena, hold on, all right? Just hold on. Come on, stay with us. You're gonna be okay, all right? You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fine. Elena, don't do this. Elena!
Trekla, Sheffer Kirala Gabuchigre.
Tujiche.
So, it's been a long, strange trip, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. You know, you should play the hero more often. Suits you.
Nah. Tell me something, Nate.
What?
Do you love her?
Chloe, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Really, it's all right. Just do yourself a favor, cowboy. Tell her.
Yeah, Elena survived. They tried to trick you into thinking that Tenzin and Nate are mourning her, but it's actually Schaefer. We finally see Sully again after forever. But don't worry, Uncharted 3 more than makes up for his lack of screen time in this game.
So where do we go from here, huh?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Of course not. But then again, neither have I.
Good.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10, how scared were you that I was gonna die?
4.
4?
Yeah, why?
A 4.
Yeah.
You were at least an 8.
An 8?
You were a total 8.
An 8? Those guardian things were an 8.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, those were terrifying.
What's a 10?
Clowns?
Clowns over my death?
I hate
Clowns?
clowns. I hate clowns.
Oh my word. You thought I was dead.
No.
No, you thought I was gone.
No,
Yes,
no.
you did.
No, I
saw
had you all
shed
along.
tears. You shed a bunch of them.
Tears? It was raining.
No, it was not.
You were unconscious and it was
It
raining.
was totally sunny out and you were bawling.
It wasn't sunny. You were unconscious.
Whatever. I kept your tears in a jar. I have proof.
I'll give you a 5. How's that?
And that was Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. In my opinion, an absolutely unrivaled action game. Lots of people cite this as one of the best games ever made, and I am inclined to agree with that. But it's not one of the best games in the same way that, say, Resident Evil 4 is. It wasn't an absolute technical achievement for gaming in the time. It didn't even have the most amazing graphics or gameplay at the time. And the story is nothing impressive. Uncharted 2 is the best in the way that it has such a unique quality that no other games have. I don't even know how to describe it. Not even the other Uncharted games have the feeling that Uncharted 2 gives me. Uncharted 2 is as fun can be. No matter how difficult a certain part is, no matter how frustrated I get, I will always keep coming back to play it every few months. It 100% deserved to be Game of the Year, and in my personal opinion, Uncharted 2 is perfection, flaws and all. I do think that Uncharted 2 really is the best of the series. It's been one of my favorite games ever since I first played it years ago, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Next time we'll be going over Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception, which is going to be very interesting. But for now, I'll be giving Uncharted 2 Among Thieves a highly coveted 10 out of 10.